every time I do a Gibson video, there's always someone that says, screw Gibson, get yourself an ESP. So I called my buddy Billy at Zzsounds and said, hey, can you send me an ESP? The people are asking, so here it is. Let's take a peek. Man, she is purty. Check out the ESP E-II Eclipse. ESP's iteration of the single cut. The guitar that I grew up watching James Hetfield play from Metallica. That's the first time I ever heard about ESP. You got this 7-ply binding on this beautiful satin black finish with just the gold hardware. And if you look at these knobs, they're really nice. They're kind of smaller and they have really smooth pots. Got a Goto Tunematic bridge, EMG 81 and EMG 60. 7-ply binding all the way on the back, goes right up to this contour, which I think is kind of neat. Got a little old school ashtray looking thing that you find in like a 64 Challenger for your 9-volt battery. Binding on the fretboard, which is ebony, 22 extra jumbo frets, locking Goto tuners, made in Japan. This guy's about 1.5 inches, whereas a normal Les Paul is 2 inches thick. Gibson has a 17-degree headstock angle versus 12 on the ESP. The Epiphone Les Paul has a 14-degree angle. The less pitch that you have, the sturdier the headstock. But the converse is that you get more tension on the strings. It's a little bit different of a feel, possibly more sustain and better tuning stability. It's never bothered me. It feels no different to me. Doesn't say ESP, that says E-II. The E-II was supposed to be an intermediary between the LTD guitars. Those are made in Korea and Indonesia. They are the same thing that Epiphone is to Gibson or the PRS SE is to PRS. The LTD is to ESP. So when I saw E-II, I'm like, well, what does that mean? That's essentially the intermediary between the LTD and then the custom shop ESPs. You're looking at a $2,600 guitar. This is a beautifully handcrafted instrument made in Japan. But if you get yourself an ESP Eclipse, where it says actual ESP from the custom shop, you could be paying twice that. The biggest difference that I notice off the bat is gonna be the contouring and the fact that this body is thinner. It feels like I'm missing something on a Les Paul. I don't mind the fact that it's just under 8 pounds. You got a maple cap and a mahogany body. This neck feels real fast. Got a nice comfortable C shape. It kind of has like a 60s feel if you're into the Gibson thing. Made for shred, just like these contours are clearly made for speed. While you have a 24.75 scale length, you have extra jumbo frets. You're really not gonna find extra jumbo frets on pretty much anything Gibson that I'm aware of unless you specifically order it. If you're a shredder and you like the big frets, right off the bat, you're gonna love this guitar. Feels very comfortable. There's no question the playability on this thing is out of this world. What I can tell you is this feels like total quality. It's from Japan. So let's just start there. If it says made in Japan on the back of it, I know that there's a good chance it plays as good, if not better, than my American guitars. This guitar comes stock with an EMG 81 and an EMG 60. It looks like a brushed gold kind of thing. I really like it, very nice, beautiful for the aesthetic. I have found that people either love EMGs or hate EMGs. Every time I show up with a guitar like this on my channel, people are like, that's awesome, it's a Zakk Wylde tone machine. Or, bro, get those EMGs out of their guitar. I love EMGs. The 8185, which is what James Hetfield and Zakk Wylde used, those have become a standard in the metal hard rock world for a very long time. You know what you're gonna get. The thing is that there are many ways to skin a cat when it comes to pickups and getting your sound. One way, all the way over on that side, someone like Yngwie Malmsteen, who plays a Fender Stratocaster with very low output pickups and then puts an outrageous amount of distortion after the fact. Then, say a Zakk Wylde, who will take 8185s that have a crazy loud output and feed it through an amp like a JCM 800 and really drive the front of that amp. It's the same thing, guys. It's just a different way to get there. A lot of people will play active pickups like 8185 or the 8160 and they hate them. They say they're toneless. They're just loud. I know that if I have an 81 in the bridge that I'm gonna be able to get the squealy squeals. I know that if I'm gonna be playing clean, I can get that nice, compressed, super loud. Imagine Metallica playing One or Fade to Black. That almost Rockman thing, you're driving the amp. It's that simple. I've always loved Zakk Wylde's tone. I love James Hetfield's tone. For people that say that those pickups are terrible, they seem to be doing okay with them. Definitely not that vintage Gibson PAF sound. More of grab you by the throat, I'm gonna play some Slayer Rain in Blood sound. There is also something to be said about the fact that these pickups really cut through like a knife. When I see an ESP, I always think of Metallica, and Metallica make me happy. They're the greatest metal band of all time. I'm not saying the most technical. I'm not saying that they're the best composers. I'm not saying any of that. What I am saying is that Metallica has dominated since 1982. And has only gotten bigger, bigger, and bigger. And when you go see them, no backing tracks. Kirk Hammett might miss the beginning of Nothing Else Matters. Lars Ulrich might forget part of Leper Messiah. It's fine, because when you see them, you know you're gonna get your face rocked off. You know that James Hetfield's gonna make you feel good inside. And there's nothing like having 25,000 people, 50,000 people, 80,000 people yelling, "Master!" If you want this guitar, go check out the link right in the description and go see my friends at Zzsounds. And let me know, I'm very curious your thoughts. Is it ESP versus Gibson? Can they both coexist? I have one. I did it, guys. I got the ESP.
Why don't you smash that subscribe button already?